What is going on, ERB sports fans? It is John. I am back with another video. On this Sunday morning, I decided to make a video about my upcoming IndyCar picks for this afternoon's Big Machine Vodka Music City Grand Prix in Nashville, Tennessee. In front of me, I have a Series 2 Jumbo Hobby Box that we got at the National. Mind you, I already opened the silver packs, so you won't be seeing those silver packs during the video, but I should be doing this around 8 o'clock tonight. I think I scheduled it, so we'll go ahead and go live on that one. Just give you a little preview on that one. Hopefully we can pull a J-Rod short print or something amazing. Don't really know if that'll happen, but we'll see nevertheless. So, IndyCar, the Music City Big Machine Vodka Grand Prix. Second year for this race. This race was debuted last year in the IndyCar series in August, and it had a very interesting result because Marcus Ericsson was the winner of the race, but as many who watched the race from the very beginning, Marcus Ericsson crashed on the first lap with running into the back of Sebastian Bourdais, ran airborne, ended up slamming down on the pavement, ended up with a broken front wing. He was, however, able to get that car repaired, and that was a very weird race. The race had like 9 cautions, a couple red flags, ended almost in darkness, and it certainly was very interesting to see who actually would fare well in that race, because when you look at the way the sort of times worked out for the pole sitter, being Colton Herta last year, having a very, very solid run throughout the race, was sort of impatient, chasing down Marcus Ericsson in the end, ended up crashing near the end of that race. So the interesting thing for this year's event, everybody seems to be talking about the heat and humidity in Nashville. Now, it's August in Nashville. What did you expect? Heat and humidity in Nashville is normally hot in August. That is nothing new. So the race will be, I think, 85 or 90 laps, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but when I was looking at the DraftKings picks this morning and I had a chance to watch the morning warm-up on Peacock, I have some final picks that I'd like to share with you for my takeaways. So this is amateur hour. I wrote down my picks. You got to write them down, otherwise you don't hold yourself to it. So looking at the starting order and kind of guessing who I think would have a chance to win today, let's go bottom to top. Colton Herta was second fastest in the morning warm-up, but Colton Herta complains a lot. He had a couple of radio communications with his dad saying tires weren't going to last. It was going off quickly. Not sure really what to think about that. He tends to overblow things. He's very impatient, but he is very fast. So I do think there is a chance that Colton Herta could win today, and he was very dominant in this race last year until crashing near the end. Another guy, this guy topped the speed charts in the morning warm-up, but he was caught out, I think, during the second round or maybe when they were doing the top 12 cut. I can't remember exactly where he is starting, but I think he's starting like mid-pack. Scott Dixon, the Iceman, always competitive. The Ganassi cars were competitive at this race last year, and he was actually fastest in the morning warm-up. And then your pole sitter, who I think it's just, you got to bet with this guy. This guy really kind of caught me out at Mid-Ohio when I didn't even really pay attention to him, was Scott McLaughlin. He is at 3-1. I think he's at 3-1 or plus 330 to win. Scott McLaughlin is definitely a favorite today. I don't think you could bet against him. You have to sort of place a bet on him to cover your bases. So with regards to that, those are my top 3 picks. Other picks worth considering: Romain Grosjean at 7-1. Romain Grosjean, here's my phone here. Romain Grosjean at 7-1 could certainly be a dark horse. I think he's starting outside front row, if I'm not mistaken, and he's definitely due for his first IndyCar win. Will Power's starting way back in the pack they had some issues with qualifying yesterday when qualifying was rain delayed and ended up going off at a much later time, and then they only had like 9 minutes, which basically necessitated like 1 or 2 laps. And the guys played the strategy to try and get get the best chance at a hot lap at the very end, get as much rubber in the track. And Alexander Rossi and Will Power, I think, got caught out by that somewhat. So, yeah, and I think a lot of these other guys, unless something crazy happens again, like last year where guys move up towards the front when it comes to the yellows and the red flags and stuff like that, like you had last year with some guys sort of leapfrogging early in the race, pitting. We're definitely able to do kind of that undertake. That certainly is a possibility, but we'll have to let that play out in the end. So real quick recap. My top 3 picks would be Scott Dixon at 16 to 1. He was 16 to 1. Now he's 15 to 1. Gonna have to place a bet on him. We'll go $2 on Scott Dixon. Why not? I knew that he would be popular. I think he was at 16 to 1 this morning. But then now he's at 15 to 1. So, and then where is Colton Herta? People betting on Colton Herta or not on Colton Herta? He's still at 18 to 1. Okay. Well, we'll place a bet on him in a bit. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. One more thing before I go. I know nobody's watching, but you'll probably see this later on. 2 IndyCar things happened recently that I thought was worth mentioning. One, during Jeremy Lee's sports card live stream, somebody made a comment about IndyCar having trading cards. Now, I've been on that bandwagon for a while. And I think Brian Gray, who was the guest, said, I don't know. There's only so much, market to support Formula One. I think IndyCar would be kind of diluting it. I tend to disagree. I mean, give the niche fans what they want, but don't print a lot of it. Don't print a lot of it. Drive some demand for those who are the hardcore collectors, who are the hardcore relic collectors of, sort of race-used IndyCar relics. Give them what they want. And then let it take its course. Go hobby only, small scale release, high value content. Find out what happens. And then I think the other IndyCar thing of note that happened recently was the fact that you had the sort of contract dispute with Alex Palou, whether he was going to end up in Formula One for McLaren or whether stay in IndyCar. Now, many of the IndyCar drivers who are quite good, who have a European presence, it's not uncommon for them to end up in Formula One someday. So I would think that would make sense to have IndyCar cards as sort of a feeder system for the Formula One rookie class, if you will. So that is all I have for you at the moment regarding the Nashville Big Machine Vodka IndyCar Music City Grand Prix, which rolls off at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC and Peacock. So watch that if you would. Enjoy it. I'm going to be enjoying it. And take care, everybody. Stay tuned tonight for this Series 2 Jumbo Hobby Box opening. Take care, everybody. See ya.